Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another series, our Giving Circle Spotlight series. I am Taisha Ty Wilson, Director of Engagement at Philanthropy Together. And you all know I host these series where we spotlight phenomenal Giving Circle leaders that are happening all across the world to inspire you to, one, either start your own Giving Circle, or if you have an existing Giving Circle, I hope that this spotlight today will give you some new ideas and ways in how you can engage your members and so much more. And joining me today, y'all, I'm super excited about this conversation. We have the Lily Messing with 100 Teens Who Care Tucson. She's the founder of the Giving Circle. And I'm just eager to jump into this conversation about how she launched her Giving Circle that is a teen giving circle. Hello and amazing. And we'll talk a little bit more about the specifics, what they have going on, and how and how they were able to scale in such a short time. And so, Lily, hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining me. You know, you've been on my
Sure.
radar, on my hit list for quite some time now, because the world wants to hear from you. You are doing some inspiring things, girl, and I'm just
Thank
eager,
you.
am eager to talk with you today. So thank you for joining in on this Spotlight
Sure.
series. So we're gonna jump right in. So Lily, let's start with just you. How did you have a special story in that you entered philanthropy by way of your parents, right? Your parents introduced you into philanthropy. And so tell us your story, who exposed you, what made you come in to want to do good and join in efforts to even start a giving circle.
Yeah, absolutely. My family have always been such big role models for me when it comes to everything pretty much, but I would say philanthropy especially. And it was actually my mom, grandma, and aunt who initially introduced me to the idea of a giving circle. They are all members of our local 100 plus women's giving circle, 100 plus women who care Tucson. And right before COVID, I went to meeting with them and was just so inspired by the work that these women were doing. And I thought, wow, we really need something like this for teens. Um, and then COVID hit, and I felt like all these crises in our community were exacerbated. So, from homelessness to domestic violence, drug overdose, everything seemed to be getting worse. But not only that, we were online for school. So, we couldn't see our friends in or out of school. And I felt like teens really wanted to have an impact, but weren't necessarily given the opportunities or coordination to do so. So I really wanted to create this opportunity for teens to make a difference in their community, and really engage with it on another level. And the Giving Circle model, as you know, is just perfect for that. So that's kind of where 100 Plus Teens was born.
I
Uh,
love it so much. And that also is a testament to all of us out there and how our children, I'm a mother of five, they're watching us. And so all those actions kind of matter. So I love that you were exposed, that your mom brought you in, y'all had that local chapter, and you were able to take that model and say, how can I make this make sense for my generation and my people,
yeah.
my friends. All right. So, well, then tell me a little bit about 100 Teens Who Care Tucson. How many members do y'all have? How often do you meet? How much do the members contribute? Like all of the details about the structure of your giving circle.
Absolutely. So I started the first chapter in Tucson, as you mentioned. And basically we meet 4 times a year, and we have, members in 9th through 12th grade. Every member donates $25 at each meeting. We then have 3 local charities presented, and the teens are actually the ones who research these charities and make a brief presentation on them. And then we vote on which charity for that quarter the collective donation will go to. We had our first meeting in November of 2021. We had over 100 members by then. Now we have over 220, and we've donated more than $30,000 just in Tucson, which has been really amazing.
Good.
Um, yeah, and then I realized this is a successful model. Teens really do want to engage with their community, so that's what kind of inspired me to create some chapters as well. So now we have 22 chapters across the U.S. We have a few in Canada and one in
Wait
Pakistan.
a minute, Lily.
Amazing.
22, you said?
22, yeah.
Oh, you've even grown more since the last time we talked. I think we
Yeah,
were at
yeah.
16. Amazing. Sorry, I had to interrupt you. Keep going.
No, no,
It's
you're good. I was just,
amazing.
all over the US, Canada, we go as far as Pakistan. It's just amazing. The model is really spreading.
Okay. Okay, we got to talk about this model and how you're able to scale it.
Yeah.
How are you how are you tell us about the work that it took. Like was this via email? Did you send like a very personable email? Like how did you
Yeah.
get these people to say yes to start a giving circle at all these 22 locations?
So since I created the first chapter, I have tons of templates that I've created and just the knowledge of what it takes to create a successful giving circle. So I use that and I coach teens from all over on how to create a giving circle. And then it really came down to cold emailing. This is something
Yeah.
I'm really passionate about, and luckily I was able to find a bunch of teens all over the world who also feel the same and really want this opportunity to give back to their local community.
What resources did you find most helpful? I know you have your template, and y'all, please keep in mind that Lily is, how old are you, Lily?
I'm 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Emphasis on her being 17 and creating and coaching and facilitating and outreach and engaging all of these people. So
Yeah.
what resources helped you to like even get you prepared to coach other teens and to train them? What resources have been super helpful for you?
I mean, Grapevine and Philanthropy Together, you both have been super important resources that all the chapters use. We are all set up on Grapevine, so that makes it super easy for the chapters to collect their donations, engage with members, and that has been a really helpful platform for us to use. And then also Philanthropy Together, we we use your resources as well, so that's always appreciated as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Lily. It's not always, glitter and glam with starting a giving circle. And so as you mentioned, like, it's great that you've been scaling and now you have this presence here in the US and even globally. But what challenges, there's the other people that are also like, looking to start a giving circle. And so I want to speak truth to power of like any obstacles and challenges that you actually had in that first year, because I recall you saying that y'all in 2020, but your first meeting was not until 2021. So it sounds
Yeah.
like it even took you a year to even have that first meeting. So why don't you share a little bit about any challenges or barriers that people should be aware of and how you were able to go through those to keep the momentum going?
That's true. So yeah, the first challenge I hit was just COVID. I was super
Mm.
excited to get started, but I didn't want our first meeting to be virtual. I felt like, we really needed that in-person connection. So I waited till as soon as I really thought, this is a safe time for people to come together and gather in person. And that was November of 2021. Which was good. I am glad we waited because I feel like we wouldn't have had that same connection if we were on Zoom or something like that. Um, so yeah, I'm glad that we waited a little bit. And on the local level, I feel like, you know, oftentimes there's this idea that you have to be an adult to make a difference. And part of my mission is showing teens that you don't need to be an adult to make a difference. I mean, we can get started now. And that's something I really emphasize at, all of my local meetings and to all my chapter leaders. And I'm really glad that that mission is spreading. And then, on the kind of the global level as well, we have, just starting that chapter in Pakistan came with its own challenges. We had to adapt the giving circle model to fit that country. So rather than doing $25 per quarter, they contribute whatever they feel is necessary. So whether that be $1 or $5, and then we supplement that with community service projects. So it's been really fun to kind of and challenging to adapt the giving circle model to the different chapters.
I hear two things that came out of what you just said of like what helped you. One, you were flexible. You flexible, like even with the Pakistan, remaining flexible in terms of every community is different. So
Yeah,
the model is the same, but you do have to finesse, so to speak, or customize the model to fit to cater to the community. So
yeah,
that seems like
absolutely.
that helped. And then two, would just breaking down, it sounds like advocacy of you first, like informing people about the model itself and then breaking down some misconceptions around youth giving that has
Yeah,
helped, that I'm sure that has helped your leaders to feel more confident to start the giving circles within their communities as well.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so well, let's talk about these a little bit more about these misconceptions because you're right. Part of our mission here at Philanthropy Together, everyone knows, and if you don't know, let me tell you, our mission is to democratize and diversify philanthropy through the power of collective giving. And what that means is we are on a mission to bring more people and engage more people into philanthropy that have been traditionally unengaged, and youth are traditionally in that pool. So there's some misconceptions around youth. One, you just said it, like youth, giving and philanthropy is for adults, but you just said,
Yeah.
no, that's not that. What other misconceptions do you feel like the public and all us, we need to know about teens and giving and their capacity to serve community?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that that really is the main one.
Okay.
That this misconception that, you have to be an adult to make a difference is, I think, widespread. And really what I'm trying to do is change that. And I think throughout these chapters, all the members, all the leaders really feel strongly that, we can make a difference. And all the donations that we give are strictly to local nonprofits. So we're really reinvesting that in our communities, which I think is a tremendous part of what we do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned that a best practice for just teen engagement is like in person. You were
Yeah.
saying how like, virtual, like no, but I'm glad we waited. We went in person. So speak to a little bit about what is actually also working in terms from an engagement stand. So in-person meetings, what else
Yeah.
what ways do they like to be engaged and
So
how
let
are
me
you
tell
keeping
you,
them engaged?
yeah, I can tell you a little bit more about our meetings. So like I said, we meet 4 times a year,
Okay.
and we have, about 2 hour meetings, but I really feel like we have something for everyone. So the first 15 minutes or so of the meeting, we have time for icebreakers. So teens have the chance to really meet each other, and we, you get to know like-minded people from all throughout your area, which I think is super important. As I said, coming out of COVID, that is something that I really, really wanted to include in our meetings. And then, we have a representative from the previous charity we selected come back at the next meeting and share with us the impact we were able to make. So it's kind of the second part of our meeting, which I just love. I always love hearing the impact that we were able to make. And then we have the presentation. So we have 3 teens who each researched a nonprofit, and met with representatives and created a brief 3 to 5 minute presentation. And then the members have 5 minutes to ask them any questions they may have on the presentation. And then we vote. We have QR codes all over the room, and kids scan them and vote quickly. So it's a great way for us to get the results. And then the second half of the meeting is socializing time. My group meets at a hotel. We have food and drinks, and we had a DJ who graduated, unfortunately, but we have
Nice.
music now, and it's a lot of fun. I really believe that doing good and having fun are not mutually exclusive. And I think, creating these positive incentives that make teens really want to engage in philanthropy is super important.
Fun, remembering the fun. I love
Yeah.
that so much.
Putting the fun back in
Putting the
fundraising.
fun back into
100%.
fundraising. And
Yeah,
I love that so much, Lily. That's so true. That's a reminder even to us vets out here, us adults out here. So remember to have fun within your giving circle. The moment it feels like work, I know even for my giving circle, it is work, but we have to remember to keep the fun, to keep people engaged, because otherwise, if it feels too much like work, then people disengage. Well, that's confirming that teens feel the same way.
exactly.
All righty. So, well, why don't you tell us a little bit about so y'all have given out, how much did you say so far?
So just in Tucson, we have donated $30,000.
That is so awesome.
Really amazing. And one thing I really do want to emphasize, and this carries for all the chapters, is when I was starting 100 plus teens, I wanted to make sure that anyone could participate, regardless if they had the means to pay for the donation. So we have scholarship opportunities, that we have local philanthropists and businesses cover the membership fees for those who might not have the means to pay for it.
So partnerships. So you
Yeah.
also have some good partnerships. And how were you able
Yeah.
to secure the partnerships?
Yeah, so it's mainly us just reaching out to, people that we feel really align with our mission and want to support teens doing some good in the community.
That's good.
Yeah.
One of your gifts I read in a recent article, because she's all over the news, folks, that your gift was to the Emerge Center of Domestic Abuse.
Yeah.
As philanthropists, we often think of not just our treasure, but our other five T's, other ways in how we can give beyond the dollar. And so
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like with like with your grantee partner, or how are y'all supporting, or if you are thinking about other ways and how you can support your grantee partners, like the Emerge Center of Domestic Abuse, beyond the gift, like volunteering or whatnot. Can you speak a little bit about like that, and also just the impact of your gift to your grantee partner?
Yeah, being hands-on in the community is something that's really important to us as well. And what I really love is that a lot of the chapters have their own spin on them now. So for example, we have a chapter in in West Palm Beach in Florida. And in addition to their quarterly meetings, they have monthly beach cleanups. And then across the country in Portland, they do canned food drives. So it really changes based on the location, which I love. Because we always are trying to be engaged in the community in a variety of different ways. But we also sorry, when we have the representative come back and share with us the impact we're able to make, they often offer to give us a tour of the facilities, or have us volunteer. And I know lots of our members take them up on that and end up volunteering at a nonprofit, even if it wasn't the one that we selected that day. So a lot of what we're trying to do is just expose teens to nonprofits that they might not have known of otherwise, and give them that opportunity to work with them in many different ways.
This is also good. You're really speaking a lot a bit about the importance of, again, localizing the giving circle to really catering it, the model to like address the needs, and also the opportunities that you can engage your members that's tied to the community. So I love that you
Yeah.
all, the various ways and how your chapters are scaling it and making it meaningful to their community and themselves. Well, I can talk to you. I told you I can talk to you for like an hour, but we're trying to. I want to also ask you, just like future, like let's look forward, because your future is so bright, Lily. You're just getting started, and you've done so much so far. So what do you feel is the future of like youth philanthropy, youth giving, like? Too loaded question. What do you like? What do you think the future of youth philanthropy is? And then what opportunities, like what does philanthropy need to change, or what do we need to change to do to better engage youth in
Yeah.
philanthropy?
First, I can tell you my specific goals for 100 plus teens. So as I mentioned, I have 1 year left in high school. I'm going to my senior year, and sustainability is super important to me. So when you create a chapter, one of the first things that the chapter leaders do is they create a board of 10 or so teens who go to different high schools, different grades, different social circles in their area, and their job is simply to recruit. So the idea behind this is if we could have 10 people all sign up 10 people, that'd be 100. So this board is super helpful in keeping that income of underclassmen in our membership. So right now I'm working with some younger members of my chapter just to train them so that when I do graduate, it's in good hands, because I really want 100 plus teens to be an opportunity for teens to make a difference for a long time, not just when I graduate. So yeah, so that sustainability is something that's really important to me, and we're not just doing that in my chapter but in all the chapters. They all have that same setup to make sure that they're incredibly sustainable. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a really key part of what we do. And I do want to say I'm also really grateful. I haven't shared this with you yet, but I recently received I'm an awardee of the Dillard Teen Tikkun Olam Awards. And yeah, and they select 15 Jewish teens across the country and award them with $36,000 to put towards their education or towards their project. So that is really huge when it comes to sustainability, because these funds can do a lot for us, whether that be supporting our scholarship fund or doing matching donations for a bunch of different chapters. So I'm extremely
You
grateful for
should
that.
be so excited. What are you gonna do with do you off the cuff, off your heart, like know what you would like to do with the funds?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like I said, I think a great percentage of it can go to scholarship funds.
Okay.
if we have 50 new members each donate $25, and we can double that and do some more matching donations. There's so much we can do. And also oftentimes when a chapter is starting, it can be really difficult to create that credibility and have sponsors right off the cuff. So if we're able to give them some funds to just get started and get a venue and do the simple tasks that they need, I think that can be really helpful to get them off the ground and running. So
That is amazing,
it's
Lily.
really amazing. Yeah. Thank
Congratulations. I'm
you.
so
Thank
freaking
you.
proud of you.
Thank you.
Like I'm a proud mama. You're not my baby, but like you my baby in philanthropy. I love that so much for you.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Alrighty, well tell us what how can people connect with you? Like what actually before you share that, what last advice, you're talking right now to a teen out there that is like, I want to do something. I'm thinking about starting a giving circle. What advice do you have for that teen right now?
Yeah, oftentimes, the best advice I can give the chapter leaders especially is just to go for it. I mean, there's always excuses not to do something, but sometimes I have to just tell them, okay, set the date for the meeting, just get it going, and that's really the push people sometimes need. So my advice would just say to try it, go for it, and yeah, teens really do want to engage in their community, and I'm just really grateful to be giving them the outlet to do so.
Try it and go for it. Y'all
Yeah.
hear it first, and she knows what she's talking about. So how can people stay connected with you? Where can they find you? How can we support 100 Teens Who Care Tucson and your other chapters? Like where can people plug in with you?
Of course. So we have our general website. I can send it to you, but it's 100twc.org. And then all the chapters have their own Instagrams. You can check that out. For example, the Tucson one is 100twc Tucson. So feel free to check that out. And yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Lily, thank you so much for all that you do for this movement. I said it before our call, you are a movement builder. And that in itself is what I truly feel is a greater calling. And so the fact that you are not only leaning into it, but leaning into it and purposely and being intentional and strategic about how you're doing it is something that we all notice and give you flowers for today. So
Yeah.
thank you for all that you're doing. Y'all, if you're interested in starting a giving circle, you know exactly what to do. Philanthropy Together can help you out. Lily shared us that we are a resource to you. We want you to start more. We want more giving circles to be started. So please head on over to philanthropytogether.org. We have tons of resources and a monthly training that we host. And I hope that you all will lean into it. So thank you so much for joining this Spotlight series, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, Lily. Bye.